These are scenes familiar to all cattlemen, glimpses of a business he knows well. And the cattle business is big business, one measured in the billions of dollars each year. From the ranges to the feeder lots to the stockyards, Americans have come to expect and demand the best in high-grade beef. And yet, unfortunately, not all herds behave like this. All too often, they behave like this. Restless, sometimes almost frantic. They run off valuable pounds. To avoid attacking insects, they instinctively seek shelter in shade. Or they stand in ponds, refusing to venture out to eat. Yes, cattlemen are all too familiar with these signs. They lead to the lumps on the backs of animals, indicating grubs. These parasites ruin hides and some of the finest meat. The damage done by cattle grubs alone runs into the millions of dollars each year in destroyed meat and downgraded beef. It's a really shocking sight in the packing house. Damage to beef and hides alone can amount to $12 to $15 per head. For years, stockmen have fought to control these parasites. However, until quite recently, efforts proved unsatisfactory. The old method was to spray the back of infested animals after the grubs had cut their breathing holes. This killed the grubs, but by then, the damage had been done. It had begun months before, when the life cycle of the heel fly began. For grubs start out as heel flies. These flies emerge from their hard shells during early summer. They deposit their eggs along the hairs of animals, generally on the legs or underbelly. From these eggs, the tiny grubs emerge. They penetrate the skin and start moving through the body tissues. Within about 5 months, they've made their way along the connective tissues and are congregated in the animal's gullet. Others will congregate in the spinal column, depending on the species of grub. But whether in the spine or the gullet, the grubs grow, remaining for 2 or perhaps 3 months. Now they make their final migration, traveling to the animal's back. At this stage in their development, the grubs require oxygen, so they cut breathing holes through the hide. They continue to grow and develop in size, forming the lumps so familiar to cattlemen. Unless the grub is killed at this time, it will eventually emerge, fall to the earth, and burrow underground. It forms a shell and comes out in the spring to become another heel fly, and the whole process starts again. So, by the old methods, grubs were killed when the spray entered the breathing holes in the animal's back. But this was too late. The damage had been done. But now, a new agricultural chemical called Co-Ral has been developed which kills grubs before they can cause damage. Co-Ral is sprayed on cattle and is absorbed through the skin. It then moves through the body tissues and destroys the migrating grubs without affecting the animal. The dead grubs are broken down within the body and are absorbed without harm before they can cause damage to the beef or hide. After the grubs are gone, the chemical itself is eliminated. In order to work systemically, that is, to kill grubs internally, instructions should be carefully followed. Proper mixing is the first step. The recommended proportion is 16 pounds of Co-Ral to each 100 gallons of water. No special protective clothing need be worn by the operator while mixing or spraying. Co-Ral must be applied in such a manner that the skin of the animal, not just the hair, becomes wet. Too little pressure or too wide a cone like this will wet only the surface hair. If the hair and skin underneath is left dry like this, poor control of grubs results. While high-pressure spray equipment is recommended, simple knapsack sprayers are suitable on animals with short hair. Currying the animal before spraying will help to get the chemical to the skin. Weed sprayers with nylon roller pumps are suitable for spraying animals with short hair. The highest pressure obtainable should be used, and the operator should work from 3 to 5 feet. In areas farther north, coats of cattle become much heavier in the fall. To ensure penetration of thick coats like these, spraying may have to be done from as close as 6 inches, unless high pressures are used. High pressure systems allow the operator to work at greater distances and still get the desired penetration. With this type of equipment, the operator can stand 6 to 8 feet from the animals and still be certain he is getting a thorough wetting of the skin. One of the most efficient methods is the recirculating power sprayer. Animals are driven into a metal chute where high-volume sprays from every angle soak the hide. Co-Ral is equally effective in killing another pest, the screwworm. This pest is often fatal to the animal. Again, we should understand how infestation occurs. Screwworms are the larvae of the blowfly. The flies are attracted by cuts or wounds on the animal, and here they lay their eggs. Within 12 to 24 hours, the eggs hatch and the larvae begin feeding on the flesh within the wound. They mature in approximately 1 week. Now the full-grown maggots crawl out of the wound, fall to the ground, and burrow in. In a few days, the maggots are transformed into flies and emerge. They mate and begin the egg-laying cycle once more. Treating for grubs will, of course, kill any screwworms which may be present. However, to treat specifically for screwworms, it is necessary to spray just enough to wet the coat without runoff. Infested areas, of course, must be given particular attention to ensure a complete kill. One application will prevent reinfestation and allow the wound to heal normally. New wounds will be protected from infestation for a period of 2 to 3 weeks. Calves under 3 months should not be given an overall spray, but their wounds should be spot treated for screwworms. Co-Ral assures a herd free of grubs and screwworms, and as a bonus, treated herds are automatically protected from other pests: lice, hornflies, ticks. Co-Ral will control them all. As with any chemical, certain precautions should be observed. Animals should be at least 3 months old before being given an overall spray. Only light sprays are recommended until they are 6 months old. The time to spray will vary in different localities, but regardless of the area, treatment should be started after the heel flies have laid their eggs and disappeared. Spraying should always be completed at least 6 weeks before grubs would normally appear as lumps in the back. The use of Co-Ral has proven extremely effective everywhere. When properly applied, virtually 100% control of cattle grubs is obtained. Results against other parasites have been equally successful. For the rancher, for all producers, this means healthier animals, fewer fatalities. With fewer heel flies on the summer range, greater gains will be made. Herds easier to manage, labor costs reduced, earlier shipping, more profits. For the feeder, it means more contented animals who will better utilize their feed. Gains will be more rapid, beef quality will be higher. The feeder can ship when the price is right. For the buyer, prime beef, usable hides, more profit. Thus, a significant breakthrough in the age-old battle to control insects that prey on cattle. Cattlemen have reached another milestone in their efforts to bring more and better beef to a growing nation.